In this video, we're going to have a look at profile customization. And previously looked at profiles, I've looked at personalization. So if I search for profiles and we go to Business Manager Evaluation, which is what I'm currently using, we can choose to customize the pages. Okay. So when I click that, it's going to open up Business Central in a new tab. Okay. And this is now in customization mode. So it says up here, we are customizing Business Manager Evaluation. Lets us know which role we are customizing. In terms of the look and feel of the way this works, it's very similar to the personalization. Okay, so if I click on plus field, it's then going to open up the add field page pane over on the right. So I can remove objects. So I can hide this. I can then show it again. If we go to the customer list, we can change the look and feel of the columns. So we can choose to take out some of the columns. Where this differs in terms of what we can actually add in to personalization is you can see over here. So we have recommended fields. So if I was in personalization mode, I would only have access to the recommended fields, which is what Microsoft think that you may need to add to this page. If I go to all fields preview, I can add any field from the table. Okay. As you've got a lot more here, we've luckily got a search button here. So if I wanted something like VAT, you can just search for VAT and it's going to find the VAT fields. Okay, so really quick way of finding the fields which are available. Okay, so we can customize here. So same as we would do a personalized, we can change the column layouts, we can add in more fields. So if I wanted, where should we go for? Currency is always a good one for the customers. So we can bring in the currency code so I can see that. Okay. Also useful, as I sort of mentioned during the personalized video, is that we can actually remove any of these elements. So we can remove some of these hyperlinks. If we go into a customer card, we can change any of these fields. So if I don't want to show more here, so faxes aren't tend to be used anymore. So if I don't want that field anymore, I can just hide it. Okay. So now any user using this profile won't see that field. Okay. It's still there, but they can't see it. Another thing that you can actually do within customization is that you can lock fields for editing. Okay, so let's say, for example, I didn't want people to change the vendor bank details. Okay, so let's go to vendors. Let's just pop this into list view. Let's open up a vendor. And then if we come down to payments, and we see we've got a preferred bank account field here. So it could be that I don't want the people using this profile to even interact with the preferred bank account. So again, I could hide this. If I actually go into here and select this bank account, so that's now the preferred bank account for this vendor. Now the preferred bank account is linked to the vendor bank accounts table because you can have multiple accounts per vendor. So if I go into show details, it will now open up that page. Okay. Now Microsoft have recently changed the default view for these so that you can actually, these are hidden so that you don't see the data when you first open the page. Okay. So you can choose to change the behavior of that if you want to. But let's say I don't want people using this profile to change this data. What I can do is select here and I can say for lock for editing. Okay. You can see now that it grays those fields out. Okay. So that means that the users using this profile, they can come into the vendor, they can come into the vendor bank accounts, they can look at the information, but now they can't edit it. Okay. And they may actually have permission to edit it, but I've now locked the field. So they can't edit it when they're using this profile. Okay. So considerations you need to make that there are, if you allow them access to other profiles that do allow to edit, then there's a potential that they can switch to a different profile and edit it. But this is a really nice way of locking down certain bits of data you don't want changing. I think another good example is on the bank accounts. So if I go into there, now on a bank account, when you first implement the system, you will need to enter the opening balance. Okay, so I'll go and find that. So we've got the balance last statement. Okay, so that ordinarily automatically populates when you post a bank account reconciliation for this account. But at go live, so when you first start using the system, you may need to manually key that number in, which is why that field is available for editing. And once you've gone live, you don't want to ever change this again because you will use the bank account reconciliation to update it. So it might be that after go live, you go, okay, I'm gonna lock that for editing. Okay, so there's no risk that a user is going to accidentally overtype that anymore. Okay. So customization is great because you are you're affecting the profile of all of the users using this profile. So you're affecting everybody's layout. So it's a really, really quick way of personalizing Business Central to all of your users without having to go through lots of manual personalization. As with the profile personalization itself that the users can do if you allow it, if you need to change back to the default, you've still got clear customization up here. We can flick back to the standard customer list view. Another thing sort of probably worth mentioning is that the customization also saves any sort of changes you make to things like save view. So if we go to the customer list, let's say I create a new save view, doesn't really matter what it is. So if we did currency, code is euro, and I save that as euro customers. Okay, so we've got that now saved as a view, and as standard, that's available here. That save view is now in the profile. Okay, so if you do need save views on any of your list views, you can add them into the profile itself via customization, and that will now roll out to all of the users using the profile, which is really, really good. Okay, so that was customization. If you found that useful, please give the video a like, consider subscribing for future content, and if you've got any comments on this or anything else that you want me to cover, please drop a comment below the video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.